Types of hardware. Output devices. These are devices which display process information back to a user in a designated format. So what we're talking about, if we're looking at all our hardware operating in conjunction with each other, users used an input device to put their data into the system. It was then stored on the system using a storage device. The CPU would have processed the data along with other devices such as the GPU and RAM. And after that processing, this information that was created from that processing now needs to be displayed back to the user in a designated way that the user wishes to experience it. So once again, this will align with different media types as well, whether they want to see the information in text form, audio form, or in a visual form as well. And we'll try to highlight that with specific hardware devices related to output. So firstly, we'll take a look at monitors and screens. And that's how you'd be watching this video right now. The information I'm giving you right now is coming through your monitor and you're hearing me through your speakers. Okay, but monitors display text, image, animation, and video data, okay, in order to show information using a matrix of pixels. So the images on your screen are made up of pixels. The more pixels that are available on the monitor screen, the higher the screen's resolution. Okay, so we get high res monitors such as 4K monitors. Okay, each of those resolution, each of those pixels, we're saying there's 4,000 of them. That's why there's 4K in the actual monitor there, which provides users with a very sharp screen. Okay, the two common categories of monitors that are currently used are that of LCD and plasma. And there's many different versions of LCD now as well, because we've now got LCD with LED technology within it, which is the light emitting diodes behind the screen, allowing it to provide a very bright image. And that's evolved as well into QLED as well, and so on. But they're the main two categories. Prior to this was also something known as CRT, cathode ray tube, which were those big TV sets with the big box backs as well. But they're obsolete now as well, but probably most monitors you see are that of LCD monitors, which are displaying that visual information to you. The next category is that of speakers and sound systems. And as I alluded to just before, with you watching this video, you're hearing my voice through your speaker, okay? And they're used to display audio, which with your speaker takes an electronic digital signal stored in a system and transforms the signal into an actual sound, which users can hear. Okay, so my voice right now with this video is stored online as a bunch of zeros and ones from when my voice was sampled at the point of recording, reflecting a waveform. What it's doing now is turning those zeros and ones based on the data it captured about my voice back into a waveform so you guys can hear it at your end, whether it's through your headset or speakers connected to your monitor or speakers sitting on your table. And that's another thing to point out. Speakers don't just come on their own, they can come in a variety of formats too, such as in stereo, where we can have two speakers producing similar sounds to support that kind of wide area sound, but also surround sound layouts too, where I could have two speakers in front of me and two speakers behind me, all slightly changing how audio comes out, changing the experience of how I am hearing the audio. And that's common at the cinema, so it really gives that real nice cinematic effect to the audience as they watch a movie at the cinema with their audio experience there. So that's the advantages of speakers there. The next area then is that of projectors, which are used to display visual data once again. So text, image, animation, and video media, okay, but this time at a larger scale to the audience. And I already used the example of a cinema when I was talking about surround sound and how it's used at the cinema, because we are talking larger scale here. And it's a projector that's actually used at the cinema. It's not a big TV screen, okay, it's a projector shooting on to an actual large screen that is just a white background, okay, enlarging the image, okay, through the mirrors, okay, and the DLP chip within the projector, expanding the image, and obviously the room is dark, so we get a nice, large, and clear screen showing us the actual movie we're watching. But projectors aren't just used there as well, okay, they're also used at events such as sporting events, okay, and you can actually see an enlarged version of what's happening at the event. If you're sitting very far back in the stadium, you can look at the screen over there to see what's going on. And they're also used by presentations as speakers. Okay, so if you're at school, your teacher might have a projector behind them showing their PowerPoint slides, or at university too, they might be presenting to an audience in an auditorium, okay, with a projector enlarging the actual presentation they're showing behind them. Okay, so useful for showing large scale information, okay, in the visual media formats. The next area is that of headsets. Okay, and you might be wearing a headset right now, and headsets allow for you to have a more private viewing of media because you're the only one really viewing it because it's attached to your head, so you're the one hearing the audio there. Now, I haven't specified the different media types in this one because based on different headsets, you're getting different media types. So we do have the traditional headsets that I can wear on my head, which just might be a speaker on either side of my ears, which can allow for me to hear the sounds related to my music or to the video game that I'm playing. The audio data is coming into my ears. Okay, but we also have headsets now built for augmented reality and virtual reality, which have goggle pieces attached to them. So they have either in AR, I can have glass goggles in front of me where I can still see the real world, but digital images are being overlaid on the glass, so that I'm seeing the real world, and these skins being applied over the top of the real world based on where I'm looking. And then VR, which is giving me a full digital experience right in front of my eyes. Okay, showing images and visual data in front of my eyes as I move my head around. Okay, so these have been things that have been emerging over the past few years and now are out now on the market. Okay, but they are attached to headset technology as well. Okay, so with a VR headset, I can actually get all media types because I can get audio, video, text, all of it because it gives me that full experience by covering my eyes as well as my ears as well. The final area I talk about is that of printers. Okay, and printers have been around for years and they're used for converting text and image data into physical output that can be displayed onto paper. And obviously, only text and image because they are the still form of media. Okay, whereas the others all involve either sound or movement. Well, we can't print that off, not yet anyway. Okay, so text and images can be printed onto paper. There are three categories of printers, which were dot matrix, which isn't used much anymore, but still is used for printing receipts because of it's such cheap printing, okay, by many organizations when they need to give receipts to customers. Okay, then we have inkjet, which it goes line by line, writing the ink onto paper or spraying the ink onto paper line by line. And then we have laser printers as well, which use toner to print an image onto paper through magnetizing particles and then attracting them to the paper and putting the correct colors that need to be in the correct areas onto paper, which is the best form of printing, but also the most expensive. So they're the three main types of printers. We also have this other category as well of a plotter. And a plotter is used by architects and engineers when you need to print larger scale prints. Okay, so we're talking onto architectural size paper. Okay, that in the larger sizes where we might be doing a house or a building's blueprints. Okay, so it draws it all onto the paper so that it can be read and you can see all those finer details when looking at the building's infrastructure to see that everything's in order. It has to be large so those people checking that the building's design can see that everything looks safe before they start building there as well. So that's the case of the plotters as well. So I hope this video has given you an understanding of output devices, essentially providing information back to users. Okay, it is the end result of what's going on in a system where the user is experiencing the information back to them. Okay, it can come in a visual format through monitors and screens and projectors. Okay, it can come in an audio format through headsets and speakers, and it can also come in the format of paper-based through printers as well. But the whole goal is having the correct output device to display media in its intended format so that the user can see the information in the way that best suits them, helping them with whatever task they are doing or wishing to learn about. So we've got to make sure we're selecting good output devices to meet user needs.